Hey guys, today I have a little bit of a different video for you guys. It is Yu-Gi-Oh related, definitely. Is it a Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile? No. But something that can be quite valuable, I think, an experiment sort of, that could be valuable to budget players or people who don't have easy access to new sleeves all the time. Like if you don't have an OTS in your city that sells them or whatever. Today we're going to try cleaning old sleeves and see if it actually works. I've seen people post about this all the time, like, oh, you can just clean your sleeves. I do it all the time, they say, and I'm like, really though, is it worth it? Like, you can just order a new pack for like, I don't know, €5 roughly. But let's say you don't want to spend the money, because let's say you need to replace your sleeves every 4 months or whatever. That's 4 packs of sleeves. That's €20 you could be dropping on new Yu-Gi-Oh cards instead. So is just cleaning these straight up a good idea? We'll try. Let's see. Alright, so the guide I found online was originally for Magic card sleeves, but that's basically the same. And all we need to do is grab our sleeves. These are, I believe they're Ultimate Guard, light blues. I've had these since about, when I went to Ireland last time. Yeah, when I went to Ireland, I think it was late 2018, so these are 1.5 years old. Been used quite a lot. They even got like some bent corners and whatnot, so they're relatively used. And you know, when sleeves get used a lot, they get all gunked up and it's harder to shuffle with them. So the first thing we're gonna do, according to the guide, is add some cleaning agent. Now I'm gonna go with soap because I think that's pretty mild. Should be good enough, hopefully. Just gonna mix that up a little bit. And the water, you want it to be sort of warm. It shouldn't be cold at least. Okay, this is actually terrible. Let's see here, we can get some more. I'm gonna have to refill the amount of water I have in here. So, I mean, the reason that you want it to be warm water rather than just having hot water is because these might curve. So you want it to be pretty warm, but not ridiculously warm, I think. That should be enough. We can add a little bit more, perhaps. There you go. And we're just gonna add these in. I guess we wanna sort of try to split them up a bit so that they get really mixed up in there. Now we're gonna leave these here for a while. Then we're gonna come back, and the guide said to basically, well, clean them off first with this soap, and then replace the water with cold water because they'll be floating around in gunk and all that stuff. So we don't want them to do that. So we're just gonna leave these be, and then we're gonna come back after a while. All right, so now I'm gonna head and put these in cold water. They clean up quite a bit. I can't see any like obvious dirt on the cards anymore, or on the sleeves rather, which is pretty cool. Now the thing I'm thinking about is a drying process. It's supposed to be really quite long and arduous, so hopefully it goes well, but we might just, I mean, that might be the biggest problem, because these need to not only clean on the, like get dry on the outside, but also on the inside. So the guide said to put cheap cards you have in there to absorb the water after letting them dry for a couple hours. Now that seems, for a budget player, that seems really weird because maybe they don't have any like bulk cards. Now I do, but for people who are not wanting to spend the money on new sleeves anyway, is really having to use bulk cards to like clean your shit a good idea anyway? I don't know. But yeah, that's the situation. So let's just see how this ends up. Alright, so I'm now taking out the cards to dry on a towel. I covered them up sort of here just to get the most water off the surface, if I could. Didn't really dry out that much. Ooh, here's one that's stuck to one. Just gonna do this, you know, pat them down a little bit, and then we're just gonna leave them to dry. It said for a couple of hours. Probably gonna give it more than that, maybe a couple days actually. But we're gonna try to see if they get really nice and dry, and if they are they useful? So yeah, let's try it. Alright, so I went ahead and hand dried 3 of these sleeves. Basically what I did is I just washed them off with a towel, or just dry them off. And then I put cheap bulk carts in, first 1 set. Leave them in for like 10 minutes, took them out, put in some new ones, and now basically all the water is gone from the inside. And this is just 3 of them, mind you, but hand shuffling wise, this feels pretty good. It does not feel as good as new sleeves. You can see there is still some sticking if I just do this. Like you see, this isn't free flowing exactly. There's still some amount of friction there, so it's not perfect, but do you really want them to be 100% smooth? Because then your chances of dropping them increases. Usually when you have new sleeves, it's after the first couple of shuffles that they turn to be really good. When they've gotten a little bit more friction so they just don't slip around too much, that's when I like them the best. So it's pretty successful so far. We will have to see with the rest of the ones when they're finished in a couple of days probably. But yeah, stay tuned. So it's now been roughly a week since I started cleaning these, and they have now dried up. I've gone ahead and put them in bulk carts. So we got 7 of them here, which we're gonna test out, see how they work. All right, so hand shuffling them feels pretty decent. Feels like most sleeve does when hand shuffling. Not bad, not great. It feels like used sleeves still. Like they don't feel brand new. They feel used, definitely. But they don't feel as cloggy as they did before. So noticeable improvement there. When slide drawing from a deck, you can see that there's sort of a lot of stickage. These things move around a lot. And we're going to show that even more on cloth playmats as well, and on a leather playmat. But yeah, hand shuffling is fine, but drawing from a deck is a lot of stickage when slide drawing like that. But if you just do the, you know, pick one up, it's pretty fine, I'd reckon. So for sliding, for fanning, this is terrible. They do not fan at all. Now these didn't really fan that great to begin with, but a lot better than this certainly. And just fan pretty terribly, I would say. It's not complete shit, but compared to, let's say, these used, these ones here, relatively new dragon shields. These fan way nicer. Just like compared to these ones. So I don't know, but so it could just be the type of sleeve I'm using, but compared to the used ones or brand new ones, I think they sleeve pretty badly. Like they still feel used. So these clearly feel used. And then we're gonna go ahead and try them on a couple of different playmats. So the next one we have is an Imperium Duelist cloth mat. This one here. And on here, they glide pretty fine, I reckon. So on cloth, they glide a lot better. Most carts do, but these ones are a lot better on cloth, so you can see. There you go, they just grip way nicer. So on cloth, it's better. Glide drawing from the deck, sort of, or slide drawing is a lot better as well. That is a huge difference. So yeah, these are pretty good now with cloth, I reckon. Or at least a premium cloth, sort of. We have my homemade cloth here, made from a slightly rougher material. It's not jeans, but it's cotton. And it's sized pretty well as well. I'd say a more grabby surface overall is better with these. Slide drawing is pretty decent. And fanning works pretty decently as well. So I'd say that on cloth mats, these still work pretty well. I mean, washed, this were definitely better than the unwashed ones were before on cloth. So I can say that much. However, the poor performance on the rubber mat sort of tells me that it isn't great anyway. And then we have sort of a weird one here. It's a leather mat, handmade by some guy in Uppsala a long time ago, but this one is sort of similar to cloth, but it fades or it slides pretty well as well. Don't have any complaints about this. And slide drawing works decently, I'd reckon. So to conclude, I think they look pretty well. There's no grime on them anymore, which is really good. However, they do still sort of tend to stick to each other, and that just isn't just the fault of the sleeves themselves. Like Ultimate Guards aren't that great for in terms of traction to begin with. They have a lot of sort of traction to each other, but it's definitely worse than a brand new one. So I'd say that overall, this did improve a bit, but it ain't amazing. Like, there's definitely just smarter to buy new sleeves, especially for the economic and time aspect. Like the time that it took me to dry this was easily more just getting a pack of sleeves shipped to your house. So the time factor is the same, basically. The economic factor is arguably better, but again, these are still damaged and like, yeah, they still don't feel brand new. But that's up to you really to decide. They did get all the dirt off, but I can't say that it got all of maybe the fats off, for example. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this. Interesting experiment. Up to you to decide whether it's worth it or not. I probably would just buy a couple new packs of sleeves instead and have them shipped to my house. But you do you. Have a good one.